everyone. This is Tim of the Online Big Blue. We'll bring you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. It's Thursday, September 9th, game day. Tampa Bay, the Cowboys. The start of the season. Oh, we are already getting text messages about the start of the season. Thought I'd turn that off. Well, it was actually a giant notification. Just says, check out the storyline for the Broncos. Well, we're not going to check the storyline for the Broncos because we're going to talk about the Broncos. I'm going to mute the phone because I got the phone going through the soundboard. We're going to talk, we're not going to talk about the Broncos. Yeah, we're not going to talk about the Broncos yet. We're going to talk about the Giants' schedule. We're going to do a prediction of the Giants' schedule. Here's the thing, though. We're not going to break it down via each game. We're going to do an overall number. We're going to go through most of the games. We're going to do an overall number because it's difficult to predict a schedule this far out because you don't know what's going to happen in December. You don't know what's going to happen in September. Injuries, rookies, guys playing better, guys playing worse, guys playing above their expectations, guys playing below expectations. You have no clue. So it's better to give an overall prediction number. And we're also going to do the Bronco breakdown on Sunday. That will be Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go over the Bronco game, live stream. We will predict who will win that game, and we'll give our official prediction right there. But let's go through the Giants' schedule and do somewhat of a prediction. What's my prediction? I've said it before. Pain. No, it's not going to be that bad, clever line. Let's start with week 1, of course, against the Broncos. Giants, you know what? All the questions on the O-line going up against the Broncos' potential top 10 defense could be a disaster. If Bridgewater plays well and he finds either Cortland Sutton, what's his name? Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy, it could be interesting. It could be an interesting game for the Giants. It's not going to be the cakewalk that people think. I think the 2.5-point underdog spread for the Giants is not called for since it's a home game. If anything, I would have made the Giants like a 1.5-point favorite at home. But we're not going to predict that game yet. We're going to go into the Washington game. And again, it's the same thing that could apply here against Denver. That front seven of Washington, man, is going to be tough. Most people also forget they had the number 1 secondary last year. If our defense plays well and their defense plays well, you're looking at probably a low-scoring game. It's going to be at Washington. I'm probably predicting the Giants split all their divisional games, so that'll give them, even losing a game to the Eagles, because the Giants always have difficulty with the Eagles. But if I did have, if I had to predict early on, I'm going to say it's going to be a loss in Washington. We jump over into the Falcons game on the 26th at MetLife. There's not much there besides Kyle Pitts. I'm going to stand out on a limb and say that's going to be a win. Then we jumped into week 4, October 3rd against the Saints. The Saints, even without Drew Brees, they are dangerous. You still got Kamara. Jameis Winston, if he ever figures it out and figures out it's okay to throw the ball away. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. He went an entire season without ever throwing a pass, but he set a record. And then you got Hill also. The Saints, I think, have a very underrated defense. So actually, you know what? I am going to do some predictions here. That's going to be a loss because they're at the Saints. Then we make a tough swing over to the Cowboys. The Cowboys, if they're healthy, if their front seven plays better, if they can generate pressure and they get some type of consistent play out of their secondary, and Dak is playing well and Zeke is playing well, it's going to be a tough game. And it's not going to be, and like I said, a lot of it's going to depend on the health, but you're looking at week 5, and in week 5 at Dallas. In some ways, if you're looking at this game, this is probably, like I said, I think they're going to split divisionally. So this is probably going to be a loss. So we already have 4 losses in the first 5 games. So I'm not saying what game 1's going to be, because why would you tune in then? And we're going to go to week 6, October 17th against the Rams. That's a home game. Matthew Stafford is leading the Rams office, which could be dangerous. But you know what? I have a feeling if our defense can play well and Daniel Jones shows anything, that's got to be a win. It's got to be a win. Because, like I said, we've already lost 4 games. Not taking the first game. So that's got to be a win. We got to come up with a win there. Got to find a way to win. It's also at home. And then we got the Panthers coming into MetLife with Sam Darnold. I think the Giants clearly are a better team than the Panthers. So you gotta give them a win on that. Then we have Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, that's a loss. It's not Kansas City. That's a loss. Sorry, I don't even need to get into that. Defending AFC champs, Patrick Mahomes, 8:15 game. We should be in bed by 9:30, so we'll be good with that. Then you got the Raiders. The Raiders are coming in. The Raiders, you know what? The Raiders are one of those teams that you think is going to be good. They have the pieces. They have what you think is the head coach, but then they just can't put it together. If I had to give them if I had to pick a game on this one, I would have to give the Giants a win there. Then we go into bye week, and then we have the November 22nd game, Monday Night Football against the Buccaneers in Tampa. The Giants seem to have Tampa's number recently, but coming off the Super Bowl, Tom Brady is not going to rest on his laurels. The team is fully back. I mean, they're fully. I mean, it's there. So, and in Tampa, that's a loss. You got the Eagle game at home. That's a win. I don't even need to talk about that game. You got the December 5th game against the Dolphins. Giants have never lost a game in Miami. I think they're 7-2 against the Dolphins lifetime. Dolphins are probably either the second best team in the AFC East. I think Buffalo's number one. They're moving in the right direction. It's a Tua game. But you know what? You got to give the Giants a road win somewhere down the line here. And I think if they're going to get a road win, it's going to be there. So I'm going to give the Giants a win there. Then we're going to go against the December 12th game against the Chargers in San Diego. I liked if the Duck is the real deal and the team continues to play well and their offensive line gels, that's a win for the Chargers. Then we got the Cowboy game at MetLife. I'm saying that's going to be a win because we need to get a divisional win at home. So that's good. That's, in my mind, is a win. And we're sitting there on the 26th of December. The Eagles in Philadelphia. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. I already gave them a win to the Eagles. So you know what? I'm going to have to give them a loss on that one because I think, it's in Philly. We always have trouble in Philly. I don't know why. Even when the Eagles sucked going back to the 70s and the 80s, we always had a problem with them. And we have the Bears. The Bears, January 2nd. Now that's a 1 p.m. game. It could go two ways, this one. It could be the rookie quarterback, Justin Fields, is awesome, and the defense is nowhere near where it should be. Or I should say the defense is better than expected. Or it could be that Dalton's playing, Fields sucks, and the Bears are going nowhere. So I'm going to give, even though it's at Chicago, I'm going to give the Giants a win. And then the last game of the season is going to be against Washington at home. See, this is a tough one. Again, this is a tough one to call. This is a tough game to call because of the fact that if you think Washington, they may be playing against either the Dallas Cowboys or the Giants for the division lead. I still think the division's going to come down to Dallas and Washington. I don't think Mike McCarthy is the right head coach for Dallas, but you never know. Been wrong before. It's a tough game because I said the Giants would split and I already gave them a loss in Washington. I don't know, man. It really depends on how this defense plays. I mean, that's and how Daniel Jones progresses and maturates, and if he's even still on the field, and if Saquon Barkley's even still on the field. If you're going by logic, and you're going by taking out the emotion for the Giants being your team, you gotta and if Washington's playing well, and you gotta give them a loss. You gotta give the Giants a loss. So right now, not counting the first game of the season, which I am not telling you, I have the Giants at 7-9. Which I said, if they went 7-9 wins, I could see that. But right now I have them at 7-9. I know there's 17 games, and I'm not telling you the first game of the season. That's going to be a whole new show. But I can see them going 7-9. So they're either going to go, it's pretty funny. They're either going 7-11, or 7-10, or they're going 8-9. I think that's a fair assessment of the team. Now, things can change. Daniel Jones could play lights out. Saquon Barkley could all of a sudden be the Saquon that he was. We don't know. So that's why I said this is way too early. But if we're looking at the projections just from the beginning of the season, I'm going to go with what I just said, 7 to 8 wins. And we have to see where we go from there. I'm going to be doing a couple live streams on some other channels. I'm going to do on Eagles channel. And I'll give more details when that comes up. Doing on a Washington team's channel as well. But when we get closer to that, I'll let you guys know. I'll give you guys details. We have the stream, of course, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. New York Giants Truck Talk. We're doing the preview of the big game. And again, this is Taylor Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could like, subscribe. And that plays new to me. That'd be awesome.